The Olight S Mini Baton, 550 lumens in a small package. Awesome. Light is your #1 security tool. You're going to use light more than any other for self-defense in a dark situation. And having a good flashlight is important, but it also illuminates the way, it gives you sight in darkness, and there are just so many reasons to have a good little small flashlight to carry. And this is the Olight S Mini Baton. I've had a number of these S Baton series flashlights, and when I got the S1, I thought this is perfect because it's so small. And yet, here's the S Mini, which is 10% smaller and 10% brighter. 550 lumens in the highest setting, and it's just really an excellent little flashlight from Olight. This is one of the smallest lights that has the CR123. It's just a very tiny offering, and Olight's already been good at putting out some really small lights. In fact, my current EDC is this little S1 Baton. The S1 is small, but as you can see, the S Mini is smaller. And these are both in the brushed titanium. There's a number of different colors. We're going to look at that in a minute, and different offerings. But these are under a limited edition run by Olight. And Olight's been one of my go-to lights for a while. I really like Olight. And I like Claris as well. That's another big one for me. But I always seem to go back to Olight, especially for EDC. This gives you a lot of lumens. In fact, 550 lumens out of this really small light. And it's under 2 inches in height. Now here we have all 7 of the limited edition S Minis. Marshall wanted to send them all for me to show you guys. This is the matte finish titanium. This is the polished titanium, and then we have the rainbow, and this is the PVD coating on it, very colorful. Then we have the stainless steel. This is thunder gray. We have the black onyx. This is copper, the raw copper, and then the rose gold copper, which honestly is more of a bronze color, but really cool. These have PVD coatings on them as well. Now, whether you go with the titanium or the copper or the stainless steel, and I'm sure they're going to be introducing aluminum versions as well, pretty much the controls and everything are all the same. One thing is, it's really small, short, compact. Stainless steel clip. One of the things that's different with this clip is that it actually connects. It's in a stationary position. You can't turn the clip like you can on the S1. The S1, you can turn it, goes into different directions, and one of the things I like about that is usually I keep my clip on one side where my push button is on the other, so I know exactly where this is at all times. That's one of the things naturally you'll be able to do with this light. And one of the things too that comes up is this going to come on in my pocket? Because this is really recessed below the ring, the rubber, you can feel it, but you've got to actually depress it below the ring to get it to turn on. So we're going to take a look at the different modes, and one of the things that I love about the Olight S series is that getting to the different modes is really easy. First thing you do, you can just press and click, and that gets you to your first setting. Now this is 12 lumens, then we're going to jump up. This is at 60 lumens, press and hold, and then you go to your turbo setting. This is 550 lumens. It will go on 550 for about 1.5 minutes because it just really gets hot. Then it will drop down to 300 lumens, so you still have plenty of light. Now, one thing I want you to notice is when I click the off button, watch how it powers down. That's a new feature from Olight. Now in 300 it will go for 10 minutes and then it'll drop down to the 60 lumen setting, and that's really a great feature because you don't run out your batteries and it doesn't get too hot, and there's a lot of good things. Honestly, I usually keep my light on the medium setting. It does do a 360-foot beam distance, which is about 110 meters. One of the things that I had trouble with, we have some forest fires up on the mountains, and it's a little bit hazy. And so I had a hard time getting some of that distance, but it will do it. I know I've had the other series lights. Now, one of the cool things about this light, above even the standard S1, the S1 is 500 lumens, the S Mini is 550. So smaller size, more lumens. Now here we are at our turbo setting. We're going to drop it down to the low setting. You leave it for a couple of seconds and it'll memorize that setting. So every time I turn it on, it comes up to that setting. If you want to go to moonlight setting, just press, hold, and then it'll be a very faint light. This is 0.5 lumens, and it's just great for reading, great for a really dark room. And I use this often. Okay, so let's say I'm on the 12 lumen setting. I cut it off. I want to go directly to turbo. Just double click. And there we go. We're in instant turbo. And that really gives you a good capability. If you want to go to strobe, click it 3 times. And you've got strobe. And this is at the 550 lumens. Now this light features what they call a timer. And you have a 3-minute time or you have a 9-minute time. With the light on, you click and press and you see the flash. If it flashes once, it's 3 minutes. If it flashes twice, it's 9 minutes. And it'll do that over. So what I do is the first time, have it on, press and then hold. There you go. Now that's the 9-minute setting. Now as I mentioned, moonlight setting is to press and hold, and that'll turn on your moonlight setting. If you go from off and you press and hold moonlight but keep holding, it'll be a lockout feature. So if I hit the button, it'll flash like this, but it won't stay on. Then to get out of that, press and hold, it'll flash, and there you go. You're out of your lockout. There's also a mechanical lockout where you can just unscrew the tail cap until it releases the battery, but it's pretty close to the end of the thread. So definitely your lockout is a much better option just to press and hold. The LED is one of the XML2s, and with the titanium it's a neutral white. With the copper it's a cool white. So neutral white will give you more of a natural color. The cool white will give you a little more of a washout. And I really like the neutral white. It does add a little bit of color to it. Now you will notice that instead of the standard glass, it's a different kind of lens. And what this does is it's not a reflector. It gives you more of a smooth beam. This is the PMMA TIR lens. And it is definitely a little bit different. It's more of a diffuser. Now there's still a reflector in there. You can see it. But it definitely doesn't give you that hot spot. It gives you more of a broader beam. And to me, for EDC, that's what I like. If I want something more pinpoint, I'll go with one of my larger lights, more for like search and rescue or for security, even though this can obviously be used for security. Now here I'm walking down the driveway. I'm about 75 yards out. I'm going to go through the modes here. And of course 550, there's 12, 60, and then back to 500. Just going through the modes. Now we're going to go to strobe, and you can see even at this distance, it's for this small of a light, that is really a lot of brightness. And then here next to the building, just going through the modes up close, camera's adjusting. Okay, there's so much haze out here. We have a big fire on the mountain, and so it's really causing some focus problems. But here we have the 550 lumens in this area. Those trees, they're about 25 yards out. And then here I'm going to drop this down to the low setting, and here you can see this is the 12 lumens, and this is perfect for map reading or looking through your pack or whatever. And I'm going to jump it up, and that diffuser instead of the reflector really does give it a bright wide spot. I mean, there's no hot spotlight, it's just a nice wide beam, and this is really what you want for an EDC light. Now here we have it up the street. It's really difficult because again there is some smoke in the air, just a little bit, but definitely you see the reflectors, and it is a broad diffused light. but definitely something you could use in a tough situation. I'm going to bring it down. Okay, that's at the 60 lumens, and even that is not bad at all. I mean, it does brighten up this whole area. Then back up to the 550. Here, just to give you a little bit of a detail with the fence line here, you know, you can really see the detail in the fence. If there's something down behind the fence, you can see it. The fence is about 20 yards off, and that corner down there is about 30 yards. I know a lot of times I do a lot of dramatic music at the beginning and a lot of lights, but with this haze I'm having a real hard time getting this beam or the camera to focus. But this is doing pretty good here. Now, of course, I did mention that we do the CR123s in these batteries, and you can use the rechargeable ones as well. And one thing you'll notice is the positive end goes out. So that just gives you a little bit. The spring you can see is on the inside. And that probably has a lot to do with the design to make this so compact. And like all the Olight S series, they are IPX8, which means you can submerge this for 30 minutes up to 2 meters of water. And since the pool's closed, we're going to do the water test in this jug. That's pretty flippin' bright. But these things always hold up. I've never had any trouble. You can submerge it, and of course if you happen to drop it, that works too. That is also for dust and dirt and things like that, and it is impact resistant. Now, one of the things I've always liked about the S1 is this. It is magnetic tail switch or tail cap, and this really makes it convenient, especially if you're out and you have like a car or you have something you can just attach this to. Just a cool feature. One of the things about the S Mini is you don't have that. They didn't include the magnetic tail cap. The knurling on the flashlight is exceptional, and even around the cap, the tail cap, and the finish, the bead blast, or you know, whatever color you decide to get. Olight does a great job. The laser engraving right here with Olight, and then of course with S Mini Baton, and the serial number right there. The stainless steel clip can be removed, but it can't be switched to the other side. One of the cool things about this too, this can be put on your ball cap to have a light that way, so I think that's a pretty cool feature. Now, I have the copper here on the left, and you'll notice the blue bezel and also the blue ring around the power switch. That's also included with the stainless steel. It has the same blue bezel. If you look at the titanium versions, they have the gold, except for the rainbow, which has a anodized rainbow finish, or the PVD finish. And that also, of course, includes the power switch. So it's just one of the ways you can kind of tell the difference between the two. With the battery installed, we're going to check the weight. This is the copper, 2.5 ounces, stainless steel, 2.3 ounces, titanium, 1.7 ounces. So you can see the difference, but because these lights are so small, the difference is, you know, within an ounce. Now, one of the things about the raw copper is that it will start to turn like a penny. And as you can see, my S1, this is really starting to turn, and I really like that look. If you don't want that look, then don't get the copper. This is actually in a protective case when you get it to keep it from tarnishing. And then once you use it, rubbing it and just having it in your pocket, it will turn like this, and I just think that's really cool. Now, this is the limited edition box. It is in black for the titanium, and for the copper it's in this orange color. And of course, obviously this is the rainbow pattern. There's a little ribbon right here that you actually pull out that releases the light. The battery is included inside, and then there's this little protector that you just remove, return your cap, and there we go. Now, also included in the box is this little envelope, and this is something you want to pay attention to. Right here with the S Mini, and it talks about this is titanium and copper. They're doing some giveaways, and you can read the card. If your serial number matches what's on this card, you can actually get a free light. And the serial number is right here where it says S Mini, right here at the bottom. So, you know, just be sure to check that. And then also the manual, which is very detailed and definitely worth the time to look through that. Now, whether you're going with the copper, titanium, or the stainless steel, a lot of cool colors. The prices on the titanium run $79.95. the copper $64.95, the stainless steel $56.95. If they do come out with an aluminum version, typically, I know the S1s run $49.95. That does include the battery, which makes it really nice, and the box. But these are a limited edition run, so not sure how long these are going to be out there, but it sure is nice to have a lot of variation. One of the things I think is really cool about these kind of lights, it makes a really great gift. You know, anybody can use a good little flashlight. We always need light. So, of course, right now when this video is being made, the holidays are coming up, and these are definitely going to be gifts, but a gift is good at any time. And I want to thank Marshall at Going Gear for sending these lights. Not only sending the one light, but sending the number of lights for you guys to really check out. I think it's a really cool selection, especially for EDC, because that's something that's very personal and it can give you a lot of choices. Whether you go with the titanium, you go with the stainless steel, or the copper. It just suits whatever your style is. And I think that's one of the things about Olight that's pretty cool, is that they are looking at a lot of different variations. I mean, for me, for EDC, I like a lot, you know, I like it to fit me. And sometimes one size doesn't fit all, or one color, or one material. And so the Olight S Mini, small little package, 550 lumens, just great simple features. I think it's just one of the best lights out there for the money, and just an excellent choice. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. And then we have the titanium. Oh crap. We have the rainbow color, or I don't think it's called rainbow. To get to strobe, just click 3 times. Okay. Now to get directly, okay. Now it does have the XML2, the lettering, and for some reason I can't even see that. Now of course all the texture. This is actually in a protective coating. Okay. That's the 60 lumens right there, shining on a Tat Cat. Looks like I picked up a couple of hitchhikers. What are you doing, dudes? You getting a free ride?